Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is the next unit that I'm painting for my Imperial Roman Army. It's a unit of Praetorian Guard. So they're the elite or a elite unit of the Romans. Somebody asked the question, why do I have the models on these strips of plywood? And the reason why is that when I'm painting in batches, that I can go along and paint all the red shields. So I can do all four models at once. I can paint their armor and swords all at once. So instead of picking up one model and painting one model at a time, I can do 4 or 5, depending how many I glue on the base at a time, and it just speeds up the whole process. So I'll paint one color for a whole unit, so it doesn't matter if it's 10 models or like in the Legionnaires it was 60 models. I would paint all the reds, then all the metallics, the flesh color, so all the different colors all at once, just to speed up the process. So once all the models are finished, I'll knock them off the bases and off these wooden strips and then glue them to their permanent bases. So that's the reason why they're on these strips of plywood. The next color that I'm going to paint is brown, so I'm going to do all the straps. Paint this front strap, the scabbard for the sword. The back strap. And I'll go and paint the sandals. Okay, I'll paint his other sandal in a minute. And then I'll go ahead and do the whole unit. So I'm painting up, I think it's 24 in this particular unit. So I'll do all that and then I'll move on to my next color. Next is the flesh paint. So I'll continue on painting all of them. Next I'm going to paint yellow, so around the shield, on these cross braces, and down the front section of their armor. Next I'm going to put a wash on the flesh, and then so I'll highlight the flesh. So I've painted the flesh and given it a wash. Now I'm going to go through and just pick out the highlights of the flesh. So what I'll do here is I'm just going to highlight the nose, because you can't really see too much under the helmet. Little dot on each cheek, and just one on the top lip and chin. Okay, and that's all the face that needs to be done. And here I'm just going to put a highlight just along the top of the hands and down the fingers. Now this highlight color is just a lighter color than the flesh. So I use a darker flesh, and then this has just come back with a very light colored flesh. It's not quite white. It's sort of like a I guess a bone colored white. So, or a bone colored fleshy color, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. And so with this arm, because this arm is held out as well, I'm just going to put a highlight down the length of the arm. Not all the way down, but about 80% of it. And then it's just a couple of highlights along the knuckles till it shows up there. Yeah, so that's all I do. So I'm going to do that for the other 23 troops, and at at 2 feet, 2 or 3 feet away, this will look pretty good, I reckon. Okay. On the leader models, I'm just going to highlight the red cape just before I do the white for the headpiece. So all I've done is I've mixed the original red paint, and because if you mix red and white for a highlight, it'll become pink. So what I've actually done is I've mixed red and orange, and so that'll lighten up the red hopefully, and it'll make it a interesting highlight color. So just looking at that there, I'm not sure if it shows up in the camera, but that looks like a pretty good highlight color to me. So I'm just doing this fold here, and I'm going to go along and also paint um, like the line of his arm, just to highlight the fold of the material going over his arm. And I'll do the same along the back. I'll just do the edges just to give it a little bit of character. Remember, when you paint, most colors will actually darken as well. So even though this might stand out a bit here now, by the time it's dried, it'll be darker, and it'll probably be a lot closer to the original color. Just a little bit along the edges there. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'll just do the other general leader, and then I'll move on to doing the headpieces. You can see the highlighted cape there, and I just put a little bit of highlights too around the edge of his the bottom part of his tunic. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm just going to lightly dry brush the white headpiece, or the headpiece. I'm going to dry brush it white, and I'm just going to do it lightly because I want to take advantage of the black under the black undercoat. So most of my painting, I try to leave as much black as I can for the natural highlights, because I don't want to go in, because I'm painting an army, and note that I am painting it to only a tabletop standard, so it's never going to win any prizes, that's for sure. But yeah, so I try to leave as much black as I can, and that way I don't really have to go and wash things. So if I dry brush things, or when I paint things, if I just paint most of the base color and leave the black shining through, it does actually save me doing a lot of follow-up washes and stuff. So this will be the last main step, is to paint the white, and then after this I will just go back and just touch up anything that needs doing. So it'll be like if there's any colors spilled over into to an area where they shouldn't be, and things like that, and maybe a few extra highlights on some of the hero or the leader type figures of the group. So yeah, so I'm just going to lightly dry brush the headpiece now, and try to keep in as much as that black as I can underneath. Remember, you can always come back over the top and give it another level of dry brushing if afterwards it looks like you haven't done enough. So I want the black underneath to be seen from across the table, so I want it to look like it has had a wash, or it's been delicately painted or whatever. But as you can see, that took what, 10 seconds just to put a quick highlight over the top of that headpiece, and I think it looks pretty good. Actually, I'm quite happy the way this leader has turned out. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with the rest of the unit, just quickly highlighting that the headpiece. Probably only take me 10 minutes, I'd say, and then I'll be almost finished these guys. The models have been glued down onto their bases. I've decided to go with um, 5 models per base, and that's only because I have only 20 Praetorians. So I would have preferred to have 6, but yeah, I don't actually have that many. Really pleased with the way they turned out. Really like that commander there, he looks pretty cool. And I've also based up a command stand with the Roman general and his standard. Okay, so the next thing now is to glue the sand on and finish the bases off with grass tufts. I've finished the unit of Praetorian Guard and also this general or command base. So I quite like the way that they've turned out. Yeah, so he's pretty cool. And this is I guess the commander of the Praetorians. This is his stand. I put a Celtic base there as part of the scenery. Yeah, I really like how that commander turned out. I reckon he looks pretty cool. Okay, well, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the content, and stay tuned for more videos about painting, and hopefully one day soon playing games. If you enjoy these videos, I would appreciate you liking and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate everybody who watches. So thank you so much, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.